Blessings, welcome forward to Reasonings right here at the Tree of Life. I'm your host, the Great Hole, as Jerome Butler, with brother Ramon Singh and brother Laurence Anderson, the Mystic Bob. It's after a very long week of hard work and being on the road and, getting our documentary up, after so much months of planning, shooting and then post-production work. And we have brother Bob here with us last night, and he watched it for the first time as we launched and as we premiered, and it's just an awesome feeling. So I'm a little bit tired, under the weather a bit, because it's been such a long, hard-working sequence. So brother Bob and brother Ramon will be the one really pushing the charge in this one. Yeah, because trust me, when I say, I wouldn't be saying it if I wasn't. So we're talking really about, in this offering, mind control. And I know the issue of mind control. I mean, the first time when we mentioned it in our group, Bob wanted to look at it from a particular angle in terms of putting it with another topic. And you said, well, that's just one angle in the mind control. Because the whole topic of mind control is so vast that, there's no one single way to define it. So we have three versions of that experience or definition or angle or take on it. Because one of the first thing about mind control is that we have to ask a question, Brother Ramon, Brother Bob. Can someone control your mind? Or it just does mind have a control switch? That's what I want to know, because is it possible?
There's no mind control if you realize you can control your own mind.
Okay.
Because what I was trying to say, that mind control, it comes from a mechanical tool that used to trigger people's emotion and soul and spirit and mind and body. It does not only control your mind, it also controls your physical and biochemistry and the spiritual projection. What you call it spiritual control instead of mind control. It sounds different, it sounds the same. It is the same, but in a different level of degree of controlism. Controlism. Because Western and European are built up a controlism dominant. Eastern people don't deal with control, they deal with flow of nature. Wind, flow. So you don't put yourself control. Because you realize that control does not exist.
Okay, so
if you put it in a new definition.
In a natural sense of saying, there is no control. So it's not something we are mimicking from nature. So it will be artificial then.
That correct.
Brother Ramon?
Ramon, blessings,
Perfect love. Honorable
yes,
brother.
Perfect love.
One life, man.
True.
Every time, what you mean? Strength yes, amongst brothers.
True, yes, sir. Mind control, because in my truth-seeking journey, that's one of the major topics that come up. Because they must say you are slaves and you are being mind controlled.
Oh, there's a narrative
so
that you've encountered.
So you need to break out of that.
Okay, I feel you
because
there.
even Bob Marley, because what I'm quote, what I'm always say,
emancipate your mind.
Emancipate yourself from
mental slavery.
Yeah.
None other
but ourselves
can free our mind. You see me?
Good. Yes.
So at them things them me study and I say, no man. Them control my mind. That's why everybody is like them program with parents for program us.
I've thought in similar ways, because people have tried to convince me when I was younger in a similar way too. And yeah, we did things as we are mature. Let me be honest, we did think so.
True.
To a degree. Actually, my mother is a strong woman, I didn't necessarily think so, but I thought it controlled the information they got. But it's the same thing, right?
Yeah,
I didn't think it was behavioral, I thought it was informational.
Yeah.
But I did think they controlled something about the experience.
Yeah, man, because for them information used to come from radio.
Absolutely.
Newspaper. Letters.
Yeah.
You see me?
True. And the European textbook them, where them usually have in the school system.
So
right?
anything them hear upon radio, a reality that,
True, because them just say they go through a system of vetting already, which is who's going to put out something that's not true in the establishment of the kind of ethics where they feel the society is built on. So they would think if they hear it on the radio, it's the truth. I wouldn't disagree with that argument. Most Jamaicans, I think, would think that way. Yeah, because it's an approved information. So, as we're looking into the ideation of mind control, so we're trying to get some parameters. So we are saying that it is possible then. Bob is saying it is not possible if you control your own mind or you understand your alignment with nature. But Ramon is saying that it is possible because the environment affects us in the sense that what you're being educated on, what you're being fed, is what you grow on. And if you're hearing a certain thing kind of constantly being told, you know, that we are programmed individuals, that we are highly manipulated individuals. I mean, the Spirit want me to say this now. Okay. All right. Let me just say. You know, sometimes I make some posts and you have people out there in cyberspace. Sometimes I know them through interactions and they consider themselves something different from what I consider them as. So let me be clear. I consider them as she's my friend, she's A, or he's B, that's C. They consider themselves, I am a witch, I'm a warlock, I'm a this, and I'm a that. And sometimes when I put information out there, I hear these self-professed witches and warlocks say stuff. They make comments on it. So I've had to remove some of them, you know, but I haven't stopped communicating with them. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is this. A lot of times when you post things about the faith, these individuals come up and try to tell you that is not factual information, trying to sway your own understanding of your reality with their projection because they have a thing. That's just programming. That's all they're talking about, you know. You're being programmed, you understand me? And they're making an issue of a choice that you have made and they do not understand your journey to that information. But they're telling you you're being programmed. So, I mean, that to me is mind control.
Yeah.
When I post something out there on my page, and I am Jerome Butler, you know me as the great owl, as I'm finding myself in the fullness of myself to recover my estates and my place in this, in my ancestry, and respect my mother and my father. And you are going to tell me of an opinion you have of me, and you do not know me.
And that is why Ramon brought back within, you brought back within, they're being brought up and thought that way there. And be psychological, analyze, think that way there. So they're being control of the information.
They're programming people with their information.
But they never question the information where it comes from. Or they never time out and say, this is the right information that is going to save in my brain and speak like that the rest of my life in their point of view. So where's my heart? Where's the intuition in terms of receiving information? That I'm own sender and giver. Where's the receiver?
True.
Without the receiver, the sender and give. That don't make no sense.
True, true.
So they jumping in the universe, in the mortal, give you a message like God tell you a message. I say you get that message. Different from reading a book or what the leader tell the world leader saying to you, you know?
Absolutely.
Because how come the world leader never get the message from the Most High?
That's a good question. What message did he get or she get and not share with us?
Right.
Because it's always said to us that the message that the leaders get are precarious. But just returning to that argument, when they see you make posts declaring your own experience and then they put stuff under your stuff trying to sway your argument, and then I would say it's admissible. Here's when I would say it's admissible, brother. I'm not playing hero. If I was an individual to go around on people's sides and put my opinion of Yeshua or Jesus, and if you can find that, if you or anyone, come back to me and we can have an argument. That does not happen with this person right here. So I do not take kindly to individuals coming on my site, on my page, on my Instagram, on my YouTube, and making slight comments. That is mind control. You're trying to program my thinking, program my behavior by your reaction.
Self-debate.
Yeah.
Self-debate. Self-argumentative. It's like you don't have to argue the person. You make a comment and it question its own self, you know, because we don't have to comment back that comment because it's totally different world that the person deal with.
True that, because what they're seeing is certainly not what we presented. And so again now, how would mind control, who would mind control benefit? Bob alluded to the powerful. Brother Ramon, who would it benefit to want to control another's mind, activities of thoughts, and then hence behavior, I'm supposing?
Yeah, because, alright, make it more elaborate on everything what you say now. The person who is a truth seeker, them find out that they are being programmed. They are being mind controlled. Remember TV program,
Yes.
radio program,
Yes.
school program.
Yes, after school
Everything
program.
is programming.
Exercise program.
You
Yes.
see me? School program,
Yes.
radio, TV, news, the media.
Social
program
re-engineering
way.
programming.
But
Yes.
these truth seekers now, they are being deprogrammed, but reprogrammed with new information.
That I
So them
understand.
take this new information for truth.
Oh.
So when them think them have the truth now, because them deprogrammed, you know,
Yes, yes.
but them need to be filled up with new information. What is the truth if that was the lie?
That's
Yes,
why
yes.
upload
But somebody
information.
give them the fake truth,
Oh.
not of Christ,
Yes.
and them think that this is the ultimate truth.
Oh.
Everybody are slaves and
Yes.
they are robots, sheeps.
Yes.
You know them term there?
Yeah, I
You
know
see
them,
me?
man. I know them, man.
Yeah.
We have profane going and cattle, and there's some highly overarching
So them
philosophies.
think them a help we.
Yes, by
They must say, all right, look at this
thank you,
sheep.
brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Thinking about religion and Bible.
Yes.
Let me educate the sheep
To let him know that he's not
so
a
he
sheep.
can become a lion.
Yes. Conquering lion and break chains.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
So them a try in a for them mind is a same delusion.
John. Yes, yes.
You see me?
But it's not, there's a word that says, but of course, a lot of these things is just another delusion.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like you say, you deprogram to reprogram, but you're reprogramming a delusion.
And two, it you know when they call critical thinking, if them think away differently, shifty thinking, then won't be in control. But the thinking turns the information inside of themselves. So if every information pick out in the outside show, them will think within their own mind, not being mind controlled, because they don't know how to use their mind. Because reason why they have mind control, because they don't have a mind to use.
Put it this
So
way,
it's
they are
like
not-
an
they're-
auto mind that flow, okay.
So it's almost like you're suggesting that they're not making decisions for themselves. Brother Ramon is saying, because people are saying, like I had the video on Tree Life, learning, unlearning, and relearning. Right? So when you unlearn, first you learn, that's what we've been given, the programming.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Then we unlearn the
Unlearning.
programming.
Yeah.
So when me I go relearn now,
Yeah, man.
me make sure I say, when I was relearning is through Yeshua, and I spoke about it on my channel, or my archetypes are changed from what my psychological drives. The archetypes are the drives inside of you that determines a lot of the cognitive processes you go through, right? The base instincts, right? And mine changed from being a nihilistic, what you call a nihilist, right? To being very much pro-life and pro-Christ. You understand me? And this change, you know, it was so evident in a lot of the kind of information that I unlearned, and then when I was relearning now, I was learning from Yeshua. I was learning from the ancestors. I was learning from the Most High. Not from, as you say, Bob, the constructed, the books, or from the kind of new age, as you're talking, Brother Ramon, those people who are thinking that they are enlightened and helping the sympathetic, empathetic people who have no value, the slave mentality, as you say, and those who are powerful, they have pride and they have value. So they're like, they are full of value and they're full of pride, and we are just slave with sympathetic, empathetic, you know, broken minds, you know.
And not only that, we learn your own morality, how you live.
Wow.
And that's not when the information from education and them things there, but when they deprogram, like deprogram your behavior too. Because behavior starts the way how you think.
Exactly.
So there's a different level layer of going through your own mind control. But when you crack the barrier of the mind, you realize the delusion you've been creating yourself because you've been programming as before and cause that this corruption and corrupt your spirit and your soul. You see me? So when you deprogram that, your soul I can start back and reset your mind and body and stay upon the natural realm and they follow your higher senses, you know. So a lot of people never let you learn after their own intuition because they're being programmed into other information and follow their lower senses. So they're never able to learn what is intuition.
And they never give credence to its expression in their lives. As it was there. So it's like many times people feel that they've gone to an event of their own free will. So if we're going to talk about mind control, we have to go to more than just the surface level that 100 people end up at a place together and think it was all their own choices. When we realize that there's subliminal information been running in advertising beneath the subtext in visual imagery out there, and it's sending a message to the subtext of the brain that is a command rather than a suggestion. And so
just do it.
Just do it. Obey. And so as a command is being given, right? And someone is just following the command. How much of what we see now happening in terms of the violence, the kind of separatism humans adopt, how much of that is some form of mind control? And if that is mind control, hey Brother Ramon, is it squarely a demonic mind control, as what Bob wanted to talk about yesterday? Is it a demonic mind control? Or is it a systematic, meaning powerful elites controlling the populations, absorbing their energy, harnessing their powers for their use? Who is at the head of these mind control programs?
I would say religion and government part of it.
Come here, say as well for add to what Baba say.
Based on the metaphysical part of it.
You don't know, say, are the fallen one. The fallen ones come down, you know. Come educate mankind. You see me? And at this, the mind control start through them.
Yeah.
You see me? What them teach we.
Oh. It's a way to have power over others, to get others to do your will.
Yeah.
So we are saying it is establishing a spiritual
That's
genesis.
Control.
Okay, so this is a spiritual pathogenesis then, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Because, continue.
So over the time, I guess, being taught this, seeing that you can gain power, you think away, you formulate a thought, and you put it out by whatever means, through propaganda or whatever means you use, and then you see people coming and being your cohorts. You see your sheep coming, you see your initiates coming, right? It kind of says to you that, okay, mind control is real. But then we come to the point now. Does the mind control break down? If the mind control breaks down, then what? What happens to a person who recognizes that they're being programmed? Do they go crazy?
The realization of the mind, and it becomes more freedom of your own insight. You see your own insight, because they told your insight when you were a baby, and put your imagination and control your dreams and control your future.
So breaking all of that.
That you go back to the fallen angel, because the fallen angel comes to you as you sleep and see a dream and reality. It is real, but it's not real.
Yeah, so I'm saying breaking all of that illusion, right? How would that person, like, waking up, like, let's say somebody that is a bit more cognitively responsible, a 22-year-old young lady, waking up one day in a bit of lucidity, recognizing that almost all of her life, everything that she has actually thought from her experience has been rejected by others. And now she feels like she wants to kill herself. This is the direction I'm trying to get to. How does it affect a person? When they recognize now that right at this moment, I know this could not be the reason for my life. Because I want to throw myself out of a 10-story building. I want to drive my car into the lake. I want to go into my garage and stuff my exhaust and turn my engine on. You understand me? So what is going on when a person recognizes something has been messing with them? These people have been rejected by the major people experiences of her life, in this case of this individual. At 22, she recognizes that she's been the victim of a specific way of educating a human being, and she recognized that that way has never been healthy for her. The true way of respect and honor has been destroyed in her. Does she flip out? Because I'm almost certain that she's not waking up thinking Zen, like, I am God. And I'm thinking a lot of people who recognize that people are messing with their head, they go a little woohoo, woohoo, a little. That's true. I'm not playing, they go a little crazy. And so how do they pull themselves back now? It's for people who have been victims of this mind control and have broken free from it, have to come clearly and speak about not things in the theoretics we're talking about, things of how people mind are programmed, right? And you alluded to the radio. You alluded to the kinds of information that is in the entangled field. The environmental field is filled with that information, right? And that misperception given to our parents, given to us, given to the children that come after us, it's wafting around, creating this kind of misperception, this mind that is controlled. So does minds want to be controlled? That's the next question.
Sure, but I do what you said before, because the parents who watch news, them love news.
True.
You know?
It's important.
But it filled them up with so much fear.
Absolutely.
Because 90% of the news is bad news.
Yes.
Because bad news make people be more attentive and say, 10 man dead down there, so
They get more emotionally involved.
But if you hear say a charity go on down there, so you don't really care about that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So a bad news people love.
Yes.
Or the news reporters,
Yes.
them love bad news
Yes.
for report.
Yeah. What draws more attention?
Yeah.
You know,
Forget
our
the
viewers,
attention.
our subscription in this age, but back in that age, it was ratings. Yeah.
So our parents now live in a fearful state of mind because them watch so much news. 90% of it is bad news. You know? Killing, rape, you know, fraud.
Yes.
Everything are
Yes.
going.
Yes.
You see me? So them just afraid if it's a evil step outside. Careful, you know? Careful for go outside, you know?
Yes.
While breeze are blow and bird, you know?
A beautiful life is happening out here.
Yeah, them fearful for God. So them are go dead and get robbed.
Yes.
You know, don't come to Jamaica, get robbed.
Yes.
You know?
Are they gonna pick up, contract some unknown mysterious disease, or they're gonna slowly, you know, have their flesh, you know, be exposed to some great negative radiation that's as a result of something happening in the atmosphere, in the upper atmosphere, the lower atmosphere. And even the way in which they try to present this information as being efficacious. Brother Bob said, a lot of people, they don't really check the information. So if you hear them say it, gets into your emotion, gets into your little personal intellectual box, and it's just a box of regurgitation. But you didn't really check it for yourself. You did not get the denotation of the information. You got the connotation, and you ran at the connotation. So then my question is, does some minds want to be controlled?
No. Because, you know, it's like you process the information and understanding without immortalize the situation and attract the energy. That's a lot of attraction. We bring about attraction, you know what I mean? So when you feel that you're present, your mind to go over there because your mind present. So them don't realize that the mind it's everything consciousness. You can't control it because the mind is everything. So how you can control your mind? You can control billion people at one time?
That's a very good question.
Can one man control billion people on earth one time?
They try to.
No.
You're right,
Because you
brother.
can read your thought, but they're not going to enter their thought to do their action for them.
True that. I'm with you. I'm with you.
They're at detachment, because that's why your spirit within the emotion and the body And the mind, the body, emotional being, your emotional and mind, etc. But the spirit is different from the emotion and the mental body. But people are living under the emotion and the mind body.
That's what I think the control is coming
so
from.
when the spirit comes present, then calm the emotion and the mind.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I will call transcendence through Yahshua the Christ. Whenever your faith has been brought hold, that's the ultimate way to destroy any kind of maybe self-desire to be controlled. Because
and Christ never be controlled, no. They can't control Christ.
No,
and Christ never be controlled.
But that's the essence of the energy. That
from out to it.
There are people out there, right, who do they truly want to go and look for it for themselves? That is the question. It has to be asked. Do they want to go and do the research for themselves? Do they want to go and ask those difficult questions? Do they want to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, to know that they have the ability to express true depths of divine clarity, right? Our celestial gifts are profound, and as Brother Bob said, the mind is everything, right? And it's not a physicalized entity that you can hold, configure, and congeal. However, through continuous repetition, the mind can be structured into a functionality, right? It's not a physical structuring, but it's a psychological that creates behavioral functionality, right? And so, if human beings believe that some humans, on the regurgitation of information and the efficacy of that regurgitation, I would say, brother, it seems a strange premise because you are all very powerful beings that are self-aware. But I'm looking at it as an anthropologist in a lot of sense, and I think there's a lot of individuals who wants to be controlled. I'm telling you.
That's what I'm saying.
Many might not agree with me. You might say, look at Jerome. I'm telling you. Because I'm reading the issue as it has presented itself through not just observation, but analysis, strong analysis. That a lot of people would rather just watch a video on Seala Media and say everything that Jerome, Ramon, and Bob said is the efficacious truth of life without experientially proving a word that we've said. I want you to examine. This video is not going to be normal, so I want you to pay attention. Without examining and more to come of what we've said, both on the good side. Normally we'd speak about the bad side. I'm speaking about the good side now. You gladly accept, because why? You love the nature of our character, that which is exposed, and you choose and trust from that choice to respect what is presented, right? And you can see that there's something about us that you can see is efficacious, right? You might not necessarily always think it's a matter of information. You might think behaviors, personalities affect information. But I'm telling you, it should be about information and not about behaviors and not about personalities. Because when you have the right information, you can discern plots, scheme, strategies, designs upon the human logos, upon mentation. So lots of people who like to press a button and get all their biometric data, weather data, food data, clothing, fashion trends, all of y'all are too lazy in a lot of senses, so you want to be controlled. You want Alexa to tell you what she's telling you. You want these machines to tell you. You want Siri to act like that, right? You want all of these machines to tell you what is life. Do you know what is the #1 asked question into this Google search engine? Is what is the meaning of life? My God, you're asking a machine. People might say, well, Jerome, the information in the machine came from us human beings. Yeah, it came from us human beings. So why don't you go ask your grandmother? Many people want to be controlled, brother.
Yeah, man, I want to talk about music and how music have a major impact, especially on young people these days. You see me? And everybody, you know. But especially young people, because young people choose to listen to music that is not of God.
They're exploring their reality.
Yeah.
And they're led astray. So they're enticed, you know?
Yeah, man.
Enticing demons.
To expand upon this then. Alright. before I start smoke herb, I used to listen to a song. I don't ya. Every day and every night, I have to smoke weed. And that's the song name, you know.
And you never smoke herb?
Never smoke herb before. But listening this song on repeat so much.
Yeah.
Every day and every night. You see me?
Yeah.
Till it's become a reality every day and every night.
Yes.
When you have to smoke herbs.
Yes.
Just because of the song.
Yes.
Mind control.
It got so deep into beyond your threshold of your being able to resist that you gave over onto it. It became you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So even all the young females nowadays, the type of music them listen to,
you got it there, brother.
It'll make them become a disgusting female. You know?
But they don't think so.
Yeah. Alright. You see, what we put in is what we get out.
That's the truth right
so
there.
once you find out that, okay, this reality is about mind control, how about I control my own mind and control the information that I put into my mind? You see me?
That make more sense to me.
So I now I control my music. You listen to my music.
Yeah.
I got it to talk about.
Yes.
You see me? Or some rhythm I play.
Yes.
You see me? You not talk no slackness.
No, you're not
Come put
talking
in my mind.
out of sync with you, yeah.
No.
What your ideals and your behavior and your life is about and ought to be about.
Yeah, me I program myself with good music.
Yes.
It a talk about godly things.
Yes.
I program myself, you know.
Yes.
Cause it on repeat, and you know say repetition
Yes.
in the subliminal and unconscious world.
Becomes permanent, yeah. When it
Yeah.
becomes fixed habit, becomes nature.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When I realized that when I go home, when I was in 21, I bought weed, not about the age, but experience. I'm experiencing to lock off the TV, stop listening to music. The bought weed, I'm up on the side and see the future. So everything start develop, seeing and hearing. So no, I lock off the phone too. No people want that, man, hear them voices. So I start learn to re-actionalize and not act in a different action. Enough time the thought come, it's not your thought. And most of the thought is around the environment and around the people, them psyche. So I realized that you have to be more aware or mindful what they said, what you're conscious aware of, you know what I mean? So when I start lock down the technology and start focus myself environment and bothering the environment, I start learn how to make the mind connected and be aware. So I start pick up thoughts in a different vibration, not thought become a single light towards you and act on it, you know. I pick up thought and pick up the information where it come from, where the action come from. So I don't think in a single like I act everything like I'm in control. You understand? Cause mind become a unique, you know. So when each thought come, you have your own thought, pilgrim, your own action, your own doing. Because there's other doing in the psyche going on. So enough people do things in the collective unconscious and not aware of their thought influencing in one mind.
Because all of them are under the same programming. That's what we're talking about. And this, to kind of put a little balance to my argument of the wanters to be programmed. The reason why they want to be programmed is because of the collective unconscious Bob is talking about. The collective unconscious sends out these messages that they need to act and be a certain way. If you do not act and be this certain way, you cannot be accepted in the cohort of what's productive, in terms of a reproduction, in terms of self-acceptance. To live and to have your being, you need collective unconsciousness approval. And so a lot of people will so willingly fall into the thought processes promoted by the collective, even though a lot of times it is contrary to their personal being and personal belief. And not just belief, sometimes it has had adverse reactions in their lives. So they have attempted to use it and it didn't work. So therefore, it's not good for them. And they still succeed to the collective because they want to have the rewards. So they willingly allow themselves to be programmed. So they can have the rewards.
It came to the material because when I jump on my mind and I be in my yard, I'm a spirit, I better do not call your laptop, call your bag, My mind to call the laptop, my inner self don't call the laptop. So I see the internal battle with other entities and I realize that who inside behind my subconscious. So I feel like somebody connected the next subject to the next object to the object. So they want to see something around your material, around your matter. So the day when I go to the event, coming out to my laptop there yard, somebody bless me up and things. I feel myself there, I see a vision to the car broke to the window, boom, boom, boom. But when the event like half an hour, like I walk out and up on the vehicle, the window glass broke. So I realize that I feel the energy from a long time and them never get what they want because I booked and like booked and stones, you know, I never call my laptop. But my spirit tell me to keep the laptop in the yard. But my mind tell me to call the laptop.
Yes.
But I say me not call my laptop because that energy that come from a different thought process that I don't call things because I'm not that material like I pack up and call all my things in my car. You understand? Because you remember the day at Barbican when they broke in my window and took my bag.
Thank you for that. So next thing, that's what Bob said is very true, you know. A lot of times the thought waves are sent out by the programmers, right? To come here because it's a collective thoughts or a group of people have agreed on a thought, right?
And somebody connect you close with you.
And that's the person they use to transmit that thought.
Attachment to your subconscious.
To draw you out.
Frequency.
And it puts you in situations like to rob you stuff, to take stuff, to put you in a disadvantage. But it's good when you're mentally aware, as Baba said, that you can recognize, wait a minute, this ain't my thought. Where's this thought? Is this Jerome's thought in my head? Jerome's thought, get out my head.
Yeah.
I have my own thought. What's Jerome's thought in my head? Right? But maybe you're not recognizing it's Jerome's thought. Maybe you recognize it as just a thought. But it's someone's thought, you know what I mean?
When I was recognized that even know the window car brought down, I could have death up. When my mind feel the vibe to something on my car, I could have death up at that moment. And see the thief and the robber in my car blocking the window in the meantime. Just because it's just weird. It just happens enough to you feel it and you go aftermath. And why it's aftermath and why it can't be happening now when the shit is happening going to keep your shit and do something about it.
Well, the
so
thing
everybody
is,
have me, you must do something about it.
I always say that too.
When you come, can you do something about it?
Thank you again, sir. Thank you again, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
You might say sometimes we have premonitions, but can we really change it? I mean, really, but it's for us to learn. He received a thought that said carry the laptop, but his inner spirit said don't carry it. So he could isolate that one thought, one of the impetus came from the heart and one came from the mind. And he lives in the heart. So he ignored the mind. Because the mind is that transmission field that picks up the communication, the transmission and the receptor. It's a receiver and a transmitter, so it picks up the transmission and it sends out that information.
And then before it pick up the transmitter, I can hear the person's name, the thought of the name, who telepath you, who transmit the information. And when you're in that heart portal, you can feel somebody's spirit. It's like it touch your electrical body.
But sometimes you won't always know.
It's like your antenna open up and you feel like somebody talking to you, but you realize that, alright, it's not my mind. Somebody is in contact with you.
Yeah, because you got to be able to differentiate for real between.
But if you're not in the spirit and you're in the mind, you would have called the laptop long time.
Yeah.
Like you're in that.
Because you're not present and aware. Our presence is one thing, and then you can be aware of your presence, right? And then you're present, but you're not aware of your presence, and that's how you can spot where a thought is coming in. It has nothing to do with you, Brother Ramon. You know, there's not where your mind is going. It's not where your heart is going, but here it is. This thing is coming strong, like a song's title, a particular set of words in the song. You understand me? And you feel like, you got it, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you know, you're like, somebody's sending me this emotion. So you know, when somebody's feeling that loving vibration about you and they're feeling deep about you, that thought in the mind is going out and you're picking it up. It's coming to that thought wave. But if you are very much into that intimacy with that person, are open to that person, you let them in. But if you're not and you're aware or you're guarded, you will not receive it. You will reject it. And hence you will grow a little bit more in your determinism and in your ability to decipher. And the power of discernment comes through the power of decipher. You got to decipher what thoughts aren't for your benefit. Brothers, what a most deep dichotomy into mind control, and I know, we all know here, we have scratched not even the surface. Not even the surface, but sometimes we cannot go on forever and ever because we want you to go in your cognitive self and process the information and be able to come with some form of clarity in your own activities to ensure that when you do act, let it be an actuality. You understand me? Not on someone's programming, right? So you can listen to Jerome, Brother Bob, and Brother Ramon, but please, for Christ's sake, go and check the information for the denotation, not the connotation. And then when you see us, please don't make comments in our thing based upon connotation, not denotation. That is not right.
Right.
So continue your paths of awakened conscious living by the Spirit and the grace of the living God in Christ Yeshua. Find for yourself the harmony that is evident and present, that no one's thoughts need to overbear so much that you cannot qualitatively and quantitatively analyze, critically process the experience. Don't let words scare you. They came from us, right? And likewise, don't open yourself up to the abuse of others, to the control of others, just to be rewarded by their attention and by some kind of a, blessed disposition. Brother Ramon, anything you want to leave our blessed viewers with?
So, yeah, man, the same music. If you're not sure about the music you're listening to, go look at the lyrics. Research the lyrics and look at what you're really listening to and repeat. And see if this is useful to your mind. And if this is developing or breaking down what you're trying to build up. You know? Because we love music, and some music we hear it sound nice and we have a vibe, but the lyrics, we have to be careful what them are chanting in our ears upon repeat over and over and over and over.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hallelujah.
Take pills, take pills, take pills.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You need to go get her. You know, anyway you have to get it, you have to get it.
Obey,
get
obey,
your gun
obey.
them and shoot and ray, you know?
Obey.
No. You know? Because even all the ghetto on them, the things what them talk about, you know? Flossing, you know, having girls,
Yes.
you know?
Having girls
All
in
them can
vast
spend,
amounts.
buy big car, you know? Who him shoot yesterday,
Yes.
you know?
We're going to shoot tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you know. So that can't helpful to none away, and that the children are listen to.
And it's said to be the most popular music of our age. That there's, what always gets me, Brother Ramon, is that there's never only that music. There's always other music. But it always seems that people are saying, where's the good music? Really? Are you really asking? You ignored good music and positive words and said there,
Too boring. They want something for vibes up.
You understand me? Actually, the music that is good is life. And people who live life but do not accept life say they want challenges in life. So they put their life at risk. You understand me? Those are the ones who want to be controlled by their fears, and you understand me? And they go to the edge of possibilities and try to, scare themselves. And sometimes this violent music is a sign that they have not love and appreciate life. So it really gets them from to.
Not afraid for delete. Remove off a playlist. You see me? Don't afraid. You see me? Just delete it.
Yes.
But you know say, oh, this not good, but
Yes.
you love the song for years, but
Yes.
really and truly that not good.
Yes.
Just delete that. Remove that from your reality.
Power
And
over
replace it with powerful music. We're going to uplift you
Yeah.
and move you towards the
Yeah.
Most High.
Yes. Clean.
And towards righteousness.
Healthy.
You see me? Yes, I clean and healthy music.
For keeping your mind clear and free from
And
the
movies.
mind. Oh yeah, the movies too, because I
You
said
know?
there's so much
Careful
angle.
of so much movie you love. If you love too much action movie, only for kill. You know?
Yes.
The type of reality you put your mind into, seeing so much bloodshed every day, that can't healthy for your system.
Plot and schemers, women and the multiple levels of infidelity, women using their bodies are being promoted as using their bodies as an economic means or also a psychological tool to manipulate. Women being so caught up in their beauty complex, they believe that it is the way to life. And so there's angles to the mind control because we cannot get enough of it to speak about it, because number one, especially, you talk about the young women, but they cannot be spoken of enough about in this time, because number one, the amount of women in today's society that is far removed from anything their grandmothers were, their great-grandmothers were, their great-great-grandmothers were, and their great-granddaunts. And the only thing I hear from the new kind of programmers to that feminine energy is to say, your great-grandma, your grandma and her ma was controlled by her man and the man before that and the man after that and the man. So they don't like that, and they're feeding the women that to be like your great-grandma is to be subdued under male dominance and a whole lot of crap. To be like your great-grandma is to know what virtue is to know what decency is to know what preferring another to your own ego is. It is to know what the value of your body is, that sacred does not mean psychologically manipulable or manipulative, right? True word. You see? And so the man them that is born from these women now, being grown by these women who are single mothers, they speak ill of men. It's a programming, brother. They speak ill of men. They do not want husbands, but they want children. So do they only want baby fathers? It seems that the baby father mentality is promoted by single women because they are the ones that are growing the children unbalanced. And then those single parent men come up and have children too. Get children and continue the cycle over and over again. When are we going to go back past the bastardization of the prisoners of war, slave camps in the Americas? When are we going to get back to respecting our ancestry, respecting the family, and stop putting your great-grandaunt and your great-grandma, your great-grandfather down because they're not as educated in lewdness and lucidity as you claim you are? You understand me? They are very much more moral, and their programming was easy to get because they observed it in nature, and they observed that these manners take you around the world. A certain kind of deportment, which is born in the source of life, not like control from the force of life. So mind control, any form of control, even self-control, is from the force of life. So why would I say it's from the force? Because generally following the Fibonacci, following the circadian, you won't need that control. You know why? Because rise and fall is a matter of the entanglement of energy. It's a breathing thing, right? If you run 20 miles, you're going to run out of energy.
And then you
Hold on back, you're going to run out of energy. But if you improve running at 20 miles after a while, your capacity will increase, and therefore your states will increase with that capacity. And so you'll be able to make use of this information and this knowledge. But it's a process. Sorry, brother. Continue.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Don't you have a control here for going here?
Exactly. Thank you. But that's it. So you know that nature is without we needing to control ourselves. Just pay attention, invest attention if you want to use that word. See what's happening, that control comes from the force of things. I'll make it simple. You want the river to go and run into your yard, the river runs past there. You can run pipes down to the river, to the source of the water, and bring the water to you. Or you can use force and do what? Dam the river. You can dam the river, block the river, and bring that water to you by force. And what does it cause? It causes ecological damage, destruction in the entire environment. So source is always better than force. Control is born in force, not in source. Direction, circulation, that's all sourcing. You understand me? Distribution, intention, that's all force. Those are all under mind control. Those are all under control mechanism. So I know at the beginning I said I was in the energy, but the spirit lifted me up. It seemed to have ended pity.
Way up.
So until next time, continue to like, share, and subscribe to Reasons at the Trail Life. Brother Ramon Singh, Brother Laurence, and it's the Mystic Bob. I am the Great Owl as Jerome Butler. Blessings and love.
Blessings. Perfect love. Boy.
Perfect love. Adorable. Blessed Father, give us that.